Oh, he's proud of Hunter. He's not just defending, he's proud of the fact that Hunter doesn't pay his taxes, that he lied on a gun form, that he hired prostitutes, that he was a drug addict, that he won't take care of his daughter, or the woman who bore his daughter, his flesh and blood. He's proud of the guy. Wow. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe Hunter's problem is his father. So the White House excluded the New York Post from a presidential event the other day, as I mentioned. And the reason is they don't want some uppity New York Post reporter to raise a question related to Hunter Biden and even to Joe Biden. We can't have that when we're talking about racist roads and tunnels and so forth. And so Sky News, I love Sky News. Sky News is great. So Sky News takes a little notice of this. Go.
Well, the New York Post thinks that they were excluded, perhaps on purpose, by the White House for an event for the president. Stephen Nelson, who is the White House correspondent for the Post, said that he was denied media access to attend Joe Biden's talk on investing in airline accountability. This was the only daytime public event the president had on his schedule for the day, and he did not take any questions from the press. The Post published the email that Mr. Nelson received. It said, "We are unable to accommodate your credential request to attend the Investing in Airline Accountability remarks on the 8th of May. The remarks will be live streamed and can be viewed on whitehouse.gov. Thank you for understanding. We will let you know if a credential becomes available." The White House did not offer up an excuse as to why the New York Post reporter wasn't allowed to attend the event, but according to the publication, it has used space limitations in recent times to explain why certain reporters aren't allowed. In this situation, according to photos from the event, there was about 20 chairs in the press area vacant. Now, whether or not this was on purpose that the New York Post was excluded, it does come at a suspicious time.
So stop. So the New York Post is told, Steve Nelson, the reporter, you can't come, we don't even have space. Now look at the photo. Place is half empty. Might be more than half empty. They got seat after seat after seat after seat. So they lied. They lied. What did the rest of the corrupt media have to say about it? Really, literally nothing. Remember when Jim Acosta was thrown out of the White House because he was disrupting presidential press conferences? I mean, he really was disrupting them. And everybody talked about the First Amendment, freedom of the press, and a federal district judge appointed by Trump himself eventually said he had to go back, which was an outrageous decision, by the way, but that for another day, if any day. But here, they just don't want the New York Post to come. And so they don't come. And so it's not a big deal with the rest of the media. In fact, they all were at that black tie dinner, I guess 2 weekends ago, where Biden was mocking them and they were laughing at themselves. When he talked about he goes up and speaks for 15 minutes and he doesn't take any questions and he leaves and everybody laughed. And guess what? He didn't take any questions this time either. Go ahead.
The Post has basically led most reporting on Hunter Biden, given it was given access to his now infamous laptop. Hunter Biden's laptop is basically a tangled web of personal and professional scandals for the president's son. The Post broke the original story just 3 weeks before the 2020 presidential election, but it was widely regarded as Russian disinformation and was heavily censored because of that. It has since been verified to be the contents of Hunter Biden, which cast a dark cloud over the Biden family and the Democratic Party. The White House's relationship with the media has been under intense scrutiny ever since Joe Biden took office because of his lack of press conferences, general question taking, or sit-down interviews. The Post editorial team wrote in an opinion piece, "We wonder if they think he can't handle reporters, just what duties are they trusting him with?" Joe Biden's embattled son could soon be facing consequences for his alleged crimes. Federal prosecutors are reportedly gearing up to potentially charge Hunter Biden with tax crimes and lying on a form in relation to the purchase of a firearm. Hunter Biden allegedly ticked the box on the form when buying a gun, saying that he wasn't a drug user, despite a public drug addiction and the fact that his memoir described being on drugs at that point in his life. While this particular investigation is not looking into any dodgy deals Hunter Biden has done with overseas businesses, Republicans are holding their own investigation into whether the Biden family is guilty of anything criminal or influence peddling. Joe Biden was asked about his son in an interview with MSNBC's Stephanie Ruhle on Friday.
Sir, there is something personal that's affecting you. Your son, while there's no ties to you, could be charged by your department.
Well, there's no ties to you, big guy, Mr. 10%, with you and all the meetings you had with Hunter's business partners and golf events and so forth. There's no ties to you, declares this MSLSD nitwit. What about Hunter? Go ahead.
How will that impact your presidency?
First of all, my son's done nothing wrong. I trust him. I have faith in him. And it impacts my presidency by making me feel proud of him.
Oh, he's proud of Hunter. He's not just defending, he's proud of the fact that Hunter doesn't pay his taxes, that he lied on a gun form, that he hired prostitutes, that he was a drug addict, that he won't take care of his daughter, or the woman who bore his daughter, his flesh and blood. He's proud of the guy. Wow. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe Hunter's problem is his father. Go ahead.
But this investigation may have gone on long enough. It has been operating out of Delaware since 2018 and has not reached a conclusion on whether he had committed any crimes. The Washington Post last week reported that US Attorney David Weiss, who is leading the investigation, was near to a decision. That report came after Hunter Biden's lawyers were spotted meeting with members of the Department of Justice's tax division to figure out where they were at with the probe.
This story has exhausted me. I've been confounded as to why it has taken almost 5 years, if not right at 5 years, for a U.S. attorney. And
first of all, he's right. Why is it taking 5 years? Let me explain it. Because they want to investigate Hunter, but they don't want to get into Joe. So it's a weird investigation. They're not even authorized to look at Joe. Remember, this guy is supposedly some kind of a special counsel of sorts. That is the U.S. Attorney for Wilmington. So it's hard to tiptoe around Joe when you're investigating Hunter, given all the ties between the two, financial and otherwise. That's why it's taken so long.
For more, sign up for Levin TV.